right?
Hi, can you hear me?
I can hear you. I just can't see you.
I don't know why. What is it?
I don't know. We see a circle and a dot.
Has it on cam mic?
Yeah, we don't see you, but we hear you. Okay, we're getting ready to go live. Let's go.
It says everybody can see me and hear me. No?
Mm-mm.
No,
No.
not yet.
And we are on Facebook.
Hello.
Mm-mm-mm. All right, people, let's go. I'm going to the other camera. Let's have a Victorianne, I still can't see you. Is your camera covered?
No.
I don't know what that's about.
Welcome to Blog Talk Radio. Please hold and you will be able to listen to the show.
Hello, everybody. I don't even see you, Warren. Talk, Warren. Warren. All right, everybody, we're getting ready to get dressed. Ready? We lost Warren. He will come back up. Okay. All right, everybody, let's go. Thank you so much for tuning in to IITG Season 6. Your speak, and I coming in, and I don't know why. So we'll make that. There we go. That's a lot better. Oh, she's cute today. Let me sit back so you can see my t-shirt. Oh, she's so cute today. Oh, I just love me. I do. I'm my biggest fan. Thank you, Jesus, for that. Thank you, Jesus, for giving me the confidence and the love that you've given me. Some people say I'm conceited. I say I'm confident. So you pick and choose. I don't have time to choose for you. I am excited today. You know, my son put this crazy I don't know what this is, software on my phone. He's only 4, and it keeps putting a hat and sunshades on me. So I don't know if you guys can see that,
No,
but
we're not even able to see
you
it.
know that baby is something else with technology. It's kind of scary. He's so smart. But we are getting ready to start our show, and as always, we have Warren as a part of our talk blog. Warren is a retired federal officer who is current nutritional and health consultant and a former food advisory with the FDA. I have my other paperwork here, but our special guest today is Chantel Smith. So let me read to you her bio. So Chantel is a financial professional of over 10 years of experience. She is an experienced tax preparer, certified financial coach, credit repair agent, and health, life, and volunteer insurance agency. She is currently appointed with companies such as Mass Mutual of Greater Washington, AIG, Transamerica, to name a few. In 2020, she became the owner and founder of Financial Circle. Financial Circle was created to coach families and individuals through their financial plans. Ms. Smith is also a former healthcare professional of 10 years. She enjoys playing pool, spades. So my nephews would love that. And is also down for a nice laugh. You can always follow her and like her Facebook and Instagram at Financial Circle. So we're going to turn the other camera on. But Chantel, I am going to open the floor with you telling them I just introduced you, so you can tell them a little bit more about yourself, and also you can tell them how to contact you.
All right. My name is Chantel Smith. Um, a little about me. I am, as she said, I am um, a tax preparer of 10 years. Some of my clients have been the former CEO of the Prince George's Chamber of Commerce. I'm into business taxes. I am also executive vice president with my econ. I In 2017, I added to my portfolio health, life, and voluntary insurance. Um, One of the reasons why I stepped into that industry was when I was a child, my father passed and he had a life insurance policy. And with that policy, my mom was able to buy a house and a car, and, we were able to take trips. It was a number of things. So that was my first run-in and impact with life insurance. And in addition to that, my biological father is a certified financial planner, and my sister is a PNC licensed. So I like to crack a joke every now and then and just say that, finances and insurance, it kind of runs in my blood. Um, this year, actually during the pandemic, I started Financial Circle. It was an idea that I had a while ago. And the pandemic really brought it to fruition. What I realize is, in the African American community, we want money and we want wealth, we want to go to the next level, but a lot of times what we don't know is the full process.
What
The
was
full
that?
process. I'm not
Okay.
sure.
I'm not sure what that was. I don't even know where that came from. Okay.
Um, but as I was saying, a lot of times we're not sure what the full financial planning process looks like. And in addition to that, we don't go to financial planners depending on our income level. So a lot of times, if you don't have the proper income, or you don't make that middle class line, you don't know what to do in order to reach your goals, to move into a new income bracket. So I'm putting together this coaching program that allows you to. I'm not a financial planner, so I can't do the financial planning, but I can coach you along the lines of creating a financial plan. So when you reach that level, you can actually connect with the financial planner and have a complete layout of the next level and where they can take you into the next level.
Okay. So, Warren, we're glad that you're here, Warren. Thank you so much.
Hi, Warren.
We can't hear you, Warren. Nope. Can't hear you. Put your headset. No, we can't hear you, Warren. Put your headset on. We're going to connect with you in a minute. But we keep hearing something in the background. So, Chantel, we're going to dive into this. And the reason why I wanted you here on IITG Season Sister Speak Talk blog is because I, I hate to say it like this, but with COVID-19, I know for a fact, and me personally,
One
I
minute.
am saying condolences. I can hear you now, Warren. I'm saying condolences at least 5 to 10 times a day. So that's one reason why I wanted to make sure that we had grown conversations about your will and financial budgeting and financial stability and legacies building for your family. But this is IITG Season Sister Speak. I'm your host, Victorianne Walton. We're excited for everyone on all platforms to be a part of us today. And we will post this back up. But again, I say condolences 5 to 10 times a day. I am watching people do GoFundMe. I'm watching the fish fries. I'm watching the bake sales. I'm watching the car wash. And a lot of those things we can't even do now because of the pandemic. But
Hmm.
I wanted to make sure that we had a conversation about your financial responsibilities when it comes to finances. Now, this is a topic that a lot of people don't want to talk about, and I understand that. This is this is one of those things where people say, "Well, we'll deal with it when we have to," but we don't know when you're going to have to. So I would better
Hmm.
rather be prepared and leave my husband and my son some type of legacy. Like you said, your father passed away, your mother was able to buy a house and a
Hmm.
car. I want David to have his college funds and whatever he wants to do. I want him to be able to have money. I want my husband to be able to not just bury me, but to live after that. Now, he better bring no chicks in this house when I'm gone. I know that. But I
Right.
do want to be comfortable and happy when I'm not here. Right. So, but we don't talk about those things. So, Chantel, let's hop into this because I did a questionnaire before um, I posted that we were going to go live. So, let's talk about creating a living will. What is why would I want to do that? Why would I want to have it? I always tell people, know who you want to have your potato salad recipe and know who you want to take your jewelry with you. Because to me, if you're
Hmm.
not speaking to me when I'm alive, you certainly not getting my potato salad recipe. So let's talk about why a will is so important.
Well, let me put a disclaimer up. I am not an attorney. I
So what's
am a
starting gate?
health, life, and voluntary insurance agent. So I have knowledge, but I can't go into the in depth. But I do have a free membership with Legacy Safeguard that can help take you into this. But shifting back to the conversation,
Mhm.
there are a number of reasons. Um, and I think I will answer this and it'll be integrated into the next question. A lot of times we don't want to have the discussion because it makes you dig a little bit deep.
Mhm.
It makes you, a will basically outlines how you wish to distribute your property and how you want your children to be taken care of after you pass. So,
Right.
a lot of times we tend to, like you said, we tend to avoid the conversation of death. We don't want it. We just want to live life to the fullest. We want it. But the reality of it is life happens, and life is
Mhm.
happening at a rapid pace, especially
Mhm.
during this COVID season. Um,
Yeah.
I have my personal family, we
With
have
a
a personal
PhD
situation
and a
where
pretty boy.
even with the property that I was talking about, my grandmother had mortgaged the property and she
Mhm.
was living in it. We moved out, my grandmother moved in. And once she mortgaged the property, we almost had to go through probate because she didn't have a will on who would take over the mortgage. Um that right there alone could actually tie the property up for
Forever.
about 18 months or so, while the family goes through the process of probate and who's going to be the executor of the estate and
Yep.
who's going to be responsible for the mortgage. When you the A will is designed to help you give accountability to all of your assets. So whether
Mhm.
you have a house, a car, anything that is listed as an asset, it helps you to allocate who it goes to and how they're supposed to, especially with your children, and how they're supposed to take care of it. On the insurance side, what we do is I sit down with you and we assess all of your assets. If you have a house that still has a mortgage on it, I help you to set up a term policy to go over to cover the remaining years of that mortgage. If you have children that are still in college, I help you to set up a policy that would cover college tuition, cover a car, basically to make sure that we cover all of your expenses
Mhm.
under the insurance policy. So insurance is just not for your burial.
Right.
When you purchase insurance, you are purchasing a larger amount of money that you're paying for over a period of time. And a lot of people tend to think that insurance is expensive. Um, that one of my all-time favorite rappers, Nipsey Hussle, he has a verse in one of his songs, and he says he has $1 million life insurance on his back. And a lot of I can't quote him verbatim, but a lot of
Yeah.
people think that that's expensive. $1 million insurance policy is expensive. The thing about it is, it depends on if you get a term policy or a whole life policy. A
Yeah.
term policy runs you over, you can get it in 10 over a 10-year period, you can get it over a 20-year period, a 30-year period. Even with a 30-year period, depending on your health, you can still get $1 million under $100 a month. And a lot of
Didn't know
people,
that.
hmm and it really depends on your health and what company. There are a few things that are factored into it, but it's not really expensive to get the type of coverage. I have a friend who I did a quote on, and he has I think about 7 children, and I was able to get him a quote for about $800,000 to leave $100,000 for his children at about $70 or $80 a month.
Wow. Wow. Now, is there a time period where that has to mature? Like if he gets it today and he dies in 30 days, is that voided? Is there a time period you have to wait?
It depends on if we incorporate temporary insurance. If we purchase a temporary insurance policy that steps into effect while he goes through the proper underwriting, and something happens to him during that time period, of course he gets covered. The family definitely gets covered. And there's another thing: once you purchase a higher level of insurance, no matter whether it's term or whole life insurance, depending
Mhm.
on the amount that you get, you will have to go through an underwriting process. And we'll talk about the underwriting process in just a few minutes.
Okay. Okay, that's good because that was one of the questions, the waiting and the grace period. So we definitely want to again, we're going to ask all the questions, everybody. I'm getting them. You guys are inboxing me, but you can also text on Facebook and I will see them as well. So let's get back to the will. And writing the will, you can be as specific as you want and say you want this person to have that, you want this person to have that, correct?
Correct. Again, I'm not an attorney, but
Right.
that is the fact.
Okay. And that's what I tell people, write it down so that people, people won't fight over you while you are alive. But let somebody try to take that flat screen TV out the house that you want, and it will
It's
be
going to
the
be
biggest
total
brawl you've ever
chaos.
seen in your life.
And
And
not
that's
to
what the
mention the
defense.
fact that they're going to feel like they're entitled, especially if you didn't have insurance in place and they
Mhm.
contributed to your funeral. The
Right.
last thing, another thing that I see going on a lot are GoFundMe accounts.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I don't, it lets me know how backwards African Americans are on a financial planning perspective.
Yeah.
And we tend to even, I would say this, and it may not, even if you're a single mom on TCA, don't be afraid to have the conversation,
Hmm.
because, and I'm trying to find this on a fine line because there is a very thin line when dealing with finances. But um don't think that because you bringing in $500 or $600 a month that you can't afford life insurance. Don't think that you bring in minimum wage that you can't afford life insurance. Don't think that because your job doesn't give benefits that you can't afford life insurance. We can make it as affordable as possible for you as long as you have coverage. The last thing that you would want to do on the back, I would rather you pay 30, 40, 50, or 60 or $70 a month to make sure that there is coverage than to have to turn around and ask family and friends for 10, 20, 10, 15, $20,000 for everyone to come up with.
Yeah.
It's those are the simple things that we can do on the back end, because I mean on the forefront, it's not even the back end, on the forefront, because we can spend $50 easily at the carryout. We can spend
Yeah.
$50 easily on a cell phone bill. Um, so let me kind of digress and
No, your points, you share the exact same points that I do. I always say you can afford renters insurance, you can afford, if you own a house, insurance is highly, I can't begin to tell you how important it is. And then you should have life insurance. I know when Chantel and I we worked together with trying to get me covered with Aflac. I love Aflac. I had it before. I wish I could get it again, because when things happened, they really did. They covered 99.9% of all of my bills. I had no
Mhm,
worries. It was the best insurance, and I was only paying $29 a month for coverage. And in
mhm,
return, it paid and it covered everything for me. So having those types of insurance are in your best interest. Hey, Reds, thank you for tuning in, and Johnson, and everybody that's listening and having a watch party and sharing, and those of you who will share after this. This information is what we need to have right now. Now let me do a push pause. I understand right now there's boycotting going on. I understand there's a tornado about to hit. I understand there's fires going on. I understand that there's shootings going on. I understand that COVID-19 is going on, but life is still happening. So
yeah, there's
even
a
with
lot
those
of life
things going
happening.
on, yeah, life is still happening. And you still need to make sure that you maintain and take care of your household. Okay, two things happen in this life: you enter and you exit. Okay, be prepared for both. Your parents were prepared, or most of your parents were prepared for when you entered the world. And now you have to prepare for your children. You don't want to leave your children, like she just said, being burdened about having to run around and roll quarters and sell pies and have car wash and GoFundMe. And I'm not downing anyone that has to, but if you go and buy,
There are preventive measures. We
yeah, if
can,
you buy
even
coffee,
even if you
buy,
don't have the optimum health, there is
Mhm.
still coverage available. It would be better to get a policy, a final expense policy, and have your
Mhm.
children all to put together about $50 or $25 a month towards your final expense policy, and have your funeral covered, than to have to ask for thousands of dollars on the back end from other friends and family. It's just easier when we pool together and we actually go through the process of sitting down and having the tough discussion.
Yes.
We really
So
have to have a conversation.
sure, we have to buckle down. And Warren, we're gonna pull you in because Warren's got some good information on keeping you whole and healthy while you're here. But Chantel, let's talk on whole life insurance and how it accumulates cash over time. Can you explain that?
Yeah, I love whole life insurance. Whole life insurance, it does exactly what you said. Once you It covers you for one, it covers you for your entire life.
Mm-hmm.
Once you purchase the policy, you have it for the rest of your life. Now it's up to you to determine exactly how, the amount of whole life insurance that you want to have. In the end, you can get 50,000, you can get 100,000, you can get 500,000, you can get $250,000. Regardless of how much you get, it's gonna have a lifetime. You're gonna have it for your lifetime. It's different. It is very different from term insurance. Term puts you categorized within specific years. So you have it 10 years. Once that 10 years is up, that insurance policy expires unless you have a rider to transition it into whole life. Um, And then in addition to that, the whole life insurance, it accumulates cash over time. So for children, if you get a whole life insurance policy on your child once you have them, and um over time, it builds up cash accumulation. So by the time your child is 18 and ready to go to college, you can have income there ready to supplement your child's income. If they choose not to, they want to use the money to buy a car. If they want to live off of scholarships and student, they still have that money available to keep them afloat during their college years.
Yes.
Even if they don't touch it during college years, or they decide to open a business, the money is there, the money is yours, and you've accumulated it. For adults, I would say one of the life insurance, a whole life insurance policy is one of the definitely within our community, is one of the least known ways for us to supplement retirement. And I would say Social Security has been an issue for a while now, and
Mhm.
and President Trump has a lot of people up in frenzies about the fact that he actually pulled the plug on it. But it's not a new conversation, to be honest
It's
with you. It's really
not.
not. That's why they pushed the retirement age back to 67, and they were trying to decide what else they were going to do about it. And with this pandemic, a lot of businesses closed,
Yeah. Oh my God.
a lot
Yes.
of business owners had a hard time keeping up with paying the taxes and paying the employees. And I guess he just said, you know what, this program is already in trouble. Let's just go ahead and pull a plug on it to make it a little bit easier for business owners. A lot of people don't agree to it. I don't necessarily agree to it, because I feel like part of the money that you gave to small businesses could have been inserted into Social Security to keep it alive a little bit longer, but he made that decision. So the fact is now, if you were relying on Social Security inside of your retirement, or you even factored it in, at this point, it's not good. We can safely say it's not going to be there. So,
Yeah.
a whole life insurance policy, and there are and even in an annuity, getting an annuity and just investing your cash into that can actually supplement your retirement in later years.
Well, I also like the fact that you said, let's talk about using your income tax to pay for it. So I that's the smartest thing.
A lot of people, when I can't lie, in my years, I've you know gotten that with the earned income credit, and I just went ballistic with the money. I didn't really
And they
I
sound
just had,
good.
right, I kind of like balled out, and then like a month later, like, where's your money at? I don't know. So that's another reason why I created Financial Circle, because God gave wisdom on, exactly how and where to place the money at to make it work. But one of the biggest tips for that, that I've learned over time is, even in your fixed payments, if
Uh-huh.
you, let's say you get a $4,000 tax return, you can literally, if your insurance policy is $50 a month, you can literally take $600 and
Yeah.
pay your life insurance policy off for the entire year. That is one less bill that you have factored into your monthly expenses, and you're covered for the year. um
Yeah.
I would say there are a few expenses that you can actually take, but life insurance it would be definitely one of them. One, because it guarantees you coverage. It's one less bill, and you have the extra income right there for you, and it's disposable for you to be able to do it. Yeah,
Again, you
it's a
know,
very
if you
simple
don't,
like, once you
it
grasp it, it's a
mm-hmm.
very simple concept to do. All right, I have this money now. And I would say
Yeah.
one of the things that we have to do as a community as well is bring back in the budgeting. We have to really take the
Right.
time out to sit down and look at our income, look at over the last
Yeah.
3 years how much you have been getting the coming. Exactly. We don't do it. Look at your
Yeah.
assets, account for how much money do I need to make over this month to sustain? How much do I need to bring in? Um, what are my annual expenses? How can I eliminate some of these bills? And when we do that, and when we take on finances, we don't necessarily look at assets or the things that will actually bring more money in. We look at liabilities and what everything is going to cost us that sends money out. But life insurance is also an asset. It's a financial asset.
It is.
Once you set it up, it can one thing that most people don't know is, you look at the Kennedys and you say, how are these families so wealthy? How are they wealthy over time?
Yeah.
Life insurance.
Yeah. It sustains each generation. And
Hmm.
that's we're gonna come back after we give Warren the floor. We're gonna come back and talk about generational building and how we can make sure again that we make our children not responsible for our mistakes financially, but we leave them something. All children are not going to college. So even if they want to be an entrepreneur, we want to leave them with a foundation because that's what other people do. And I'm not going to say racist because I do know a lot of African Americans who leave their family
Yeah, I
something
was a
to build on
beneficiary
the
of one.
start. So
Hmm.
we're going to push pause on It's in the Dean Season Sisters Speak and allow Warren Green, who's my mentor, who celebrated a birthday yesterday. God has blessed him
Happy
to be
belated
here
birthday.
for another year. We're going to give him the floor and hopefully you can hear him. And we talked about CMOS the last time, and we talked about our last show was building a foundation using your backyard so that you can have an income of six figures. So Warren, the next 10 minutes is all yours. We can't hear you, Warren. Can't hear you. Nope, we can't hear you. Let's see. No, let's do the test. Testing 1, 2, 3. Nope. I tell you what, until we can fix this, hold on, Warren. Until we can fix this, Chantel, why don't we jump into, and Warren, I'm going to come to the back. That's my sister. And Chantel, let's talk a little bit more about why we need to do this. And I also want to talk about the underwriting process. So let's talk about the underwriting process while I hop on the other computer to see what's going on with Warren. So tell them about that, Chantel.
Okay. Well, the underwriting process, once you apply for life insurance, um, and we do the financial needs analysis, one of the next things that we do is we get you prepped for your medical assessment. A lot of people are thrown off guard when it comes to the medical assessment portion of it. However, life insurance is based off of they score you according to your health. Um, they score you upon your lifestyle. They score you upon your habits. So, and a lot of people don't necessarily like that. Um, however, it is definitely mandatory and it's necessary for us to become more health conscious of ourselves because they analyze us and they approve and deny us based off of our health. One of the next things that we do besides the assessment is we link up with a company. There are a few of them. One of them is Live Apps, where they have a medical technician to come to you, whether it's in your home or at work or wherever you choose to meet with that person, and they do they do the basic review, like the medical assistants, the assessments like the medical assistants do in the doctor's office. They draw your blood, they take your weight, they take your blood pressure. Once all of your results are in, they get sent to the underwriters, and they do an assessment, and they score you based off of your health.
Hmm. And
And
that's called Live Apps.
yeah, that's one of the companies. That's one of the
I've
companies.
not. Oh, that's I've not heard of that. That is absolutely great, especially during this pandemic. Now we may have to do that outside because I'm not letting everybody in my house. But it's good to know we have options that
Understood.
will do that.
Definitely
Also, Chantel,
understood.
do you mind touching on Aflac? I've talked about Aflac a lot. Can you tell us why you like it, if you like it, how you apply for all of these insurance and all of these applications that you're speaking of? How do we apply for them?
Well, Aflac is one of the companies that I love because their policies are set up to one, cover your health. They have a number of policies. Um,
Uh-huh.
they're and they come on based off of two different things. One, you can get your group policies where you get them through your employer. Once you get them through your employer, you are open to a more comprehensive package than what you would be on an individual basis. Through your job, you're eligible for short-term disability. There
Mhm.
are hospital policies. Aflac has a specified health policy that is specifically geared towards high blood pressure, diabetes. I like to call like the triple three: high blood pressure, diabetes, and high cholesterol. So anything related to your heart or stroke or heart attacks, that one covers. They also have cancer coverage. And that's the one that I was working with you the most with the Pinky parties and promoting. Aflac,
Right.
um, they how their policies are is they cover you, like, let's say you don't have a history but you have a family history and you have the policy, and the policy is in place every year just for you going in and you getting your diagnostic testing. Aflac will, once you submit your information to Aflac, they will send you a check just for your wellness visits. I like to call it a reward for actually keeping up with your health. So they'll send you out a check. But, you know, let's say you have the policy and you actually are diagnosed with something major. Aflac walks you through from the first diagnostic test all the way down to the end, and and there are so many different procedures and so many different tests and follow up um, visits and whatnot. The Aflac has a dollar amount attached to each one, and they walk you through each one of the steps that you go through and have a dollar amount attached. So with every one that you do, Aflac sends you a check. Every chemotherapy session, every immunotherapy session, Aflac has a check there. If you go through surgery, Aflac has a check available for you. Like, the company is phenomenal. Um, Unfortunately, the
So let me ask
for
you this. So that was I have a question from the
uh
gallery. So the question is, if you are a cancer patient, how um how long do you have to wait until you can get covered through AFRAC cancer policy?
it's the standard, exactly what the doctors say. They say, the doctors say you are in the clear once you reach 7 years of remission. Aflac goes according to that too. So they've specifically linked up with the doctors to know everything about the condition. And they have closely lined their policies the according to the position, the condition, excuse me. So
So it's
after seven
7 years.
years of 7 years of remission, you are eligible for Aflac once again.
So is that for all AFLAC coverage or is that just for cancer? Like,
Um,
can I just get hospitalization coverage if I'm a cancer, if I was a cancer patient?
well, cancer is the one that is the trickiest. It has to be for the cancer to get coverage on anything cancer related, regardless of the policy. You have to be, I believe, you have to be, and I have to go back and check this one, but I believe you have to be in remission for 7 years. The other conditions, however, any other pre-existing condition, there is like a wait a 1 to 2 year elimination period before they would actually cover you on any other pre-existing condition.
Okay. Hi, DC. Hey, Warren, can you say hi for me? We still can't hear you. I don't know. Hi, DC. Hello, Franklin. Hi, Rez, affectionately my gay. So, hi, everybody. Johnson, everybody. Oh, and I'm sorry, Chantel, we have a huge Japanese um, member list. Hello, everyone in Japan.
No
Konnichiwa.
problem.
Thank you for
Hello.
listening. And all of those who will share this afterwards with watch parties. This is definitely some great information on how to financially care for your family um, through wills, through insurance policies, making sure you have great insurance policies that you can afford right now on yourself. So we're
Hmm.
talking about Aflac, and we want you, all of those who are just tuning in now, to revisit this clip, look at it with family and friends. I'm telling you, there's two things that's for sure in life: you enter and you exit. Nobody is here to stay. I think the Bible mentioned two that have walked the earth the entire time, and I don't remember your name being mentioned. So, you want to make sure that you're covered. And Warren, oh, okay. All right, we're going to add Warren on the call this way. I'm going to put you on speaker. So, I always want to make sure that everybody understands what their options are. And those are your options when it comes down to taking care of your family. Please don't call me getting upset because I won't contribute to your GoFundMe, because we all have the opportunity. I it's amazing to me when I see people turn up, they got their stimulus check, or one particular young lady had an $8,000 tax return, and she was broke in 30 days. And she paid no bills because she was asking me for rent, and she didn't get anything for her children. I think she went to Vegas, and whatever they did, it stayed in Vegas. But how can you have $8,000 with no potential on planning? You've got to sit down with what you have and budget for it. And I always
Right.
go back to my and say, let's talk, let's have a conversation about what we
Hmm.
need to do to plan,
You
not
asked
just
the
for me,
question.
not just for him, but for my son. We want to leave David in a
Hmm.
better place than we were while we were here. You want to leave them with not a financial burden, but a step up to whatever he's going to do and be. So,
Hmm.
Warren, are you there?
I'm on the phone. Can you hear me on the phone?
Chantel, can you hear him on the phone?
I hear you. It's
Awesome.
kind of faint, but I hear you.
We're going to put you over a little closer because we're not for sure what's going on, but we can see you, Warren. So, Warren, we're going to give you, we're cut for time now because, believe it or not, it's 1:43. So, Warren, we're going to give you a few minutes to talk about. Last week, we talked about you have six figures in your backyard. So, Warren, let's touch on that for a little bit, and then we're going to hop back in. Everyone, this is Warren Green on It's in the Genes, Seasoned Sisters Speak. Let's go, Warren.
Okay, and I'm sorry. I can't get anybody in here to do any work because with the quarantine,
Right.
we're not allowed. So we can't get workmen. We can't do anything. And I'm 81 years old, and I am computer illiterate. So that's where we are.
Okay.
I was thinking about I was thinking about what we talked about last time,
Mm-hmm.
and about growing, because Africans were brought here for agriculture. They were brought. So without agriculture, there's no United States of America, and agriculture is not in African Americans are not in the agriculture industry at all.
No.
I mean, so minimally that it's not even significant. We just ain't, we're not in that industry. And for whatever reason, agriculture is booming in everything, organic, cannabis, everything, right there in Washington.
We're not a part of it.
I think it doesn't make any sense. So here's what I did come up with, though. It's 1 acre of land. 1 acre can grow 50,000 pounds of strawberries. Vicky was talking about how David loves strawberries. 50,000. Well, 1 acre of land you can grow 50,000 pounds of organic strawberries.
Wow.
Now, go to the supermarket for a pound of organic strawberries. It costs about $3 or $3.50 or maybe $4. Think about that. 50,000 times $4. Same with tomatoes. We import. America has become an import country as far as agriculture is concerned. We have to depend on other countries to actually feed us. That's the big setting. When I was in the USDA, we were an exporting company. We were called a breadbasket, and we fed everybody.
Yeah.
Now we have to depend upon countries like Mexico and Canada to feed us. That's pathetic. And it's been going on. It's not just the last administration, all the way down. All of them had some policies that didn't make sense, particularly to the African Americans, with the farmers, with the black farmers, with their lawsuits, where the USDA admitted that there was a problem. They admitted that they were malfeasance in how they treated African Americans, and they got us out of the market. Getting us out of the market meant that black farmers had 250,000 black customers, or African American, well, customers generally, predominantly African Americans.
Right.
So if you got all of them, and as a result, that's where all of the food deserts came from. So if you talk about the stroke belt, which is from Virginia or Maryland all the way around to Texas, that's where it is, and that's where the black farmers got their customers. So that's exactly what happened in all of these politicians that did. So what my suggestion is, we must feed ourselves. If we got into the agriculture industry, we would have leverage. The basketball players, they had leverage. The gamblers were able to. The gamblers were able to say, "Well, we are not going to do this." The whole country went up in air. Y'all are not going to play. Okay. Well, it's the same thing. If we are providing organic crops to the world, we have leverage.
Right.
The South can say you can't kill us in the street. But we're not doing that. We're depending on somebody else to take care of us, which is what they set us up to do in the Constitution. That we were not full human beings, we were 3/5 human beings. They never even considered us human, which is why they can kill us without resolution. I didn't want to be political, but that's the deal. They had to amend the Constitution, in order for us to be considered a human being.
You know,
even in the scriptures, it talks about us being state slavery could be accepted. Even in the scriptures, the people that people worship.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know, we're at a crossroads now. I don't know if anybody noticed, but there's a shifting going on right now. That people are saying the earth is angry. Well, God is not pleased. We're confused. There's so much anxiety going on. There's so much hate going on. There's so much confusion going on. People just don't know what to do. So what do you do when you don't know what to do? You panic. You act out. It's like a child having a temper tantrum. So right now, giving guidance on what people should be preparing for and what people should be doing, I think will help calm everyone down. Like with the basketball players going on boycotting, you still have to have a plan. What comes next? What are the next steps? Even with growing in your backyard, okay, you've grown the strawberries. What comes next? Even with getting insurance for your mom and dad, or even insurance on their children. okay, what comes next? You've got to prepare. You have to have a plan. And I know for me, it makes me feel secure when I hear my husband say, okay, we're going to do this. And this is the plan. Here's our A, B, and C. You know, if this doesn't turn out right, we're going to do this. But in the meantime, we're going to trust in God. I trust in God. It's me I don't trust. I get a little,
Can
I'm
I
human.
can I insert something here? Like over the
Sure.
last over the last year or so, God has been having me to study wisdom. And the fear of the Lord helps you tend to life. And a lot of times what I've realized is when we think about life in the contents of what we know it as now, we're
Yeah.
away from the basics.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
they came to get us because of agriculture, because we knew how to take care of life. Life is
Right.
not life is not the cars and life is in the trees, life is in the plants, life is in the ocean. That is life.
Grass. In the grass. You lay
Exactly,
down and
because we are earth people, we know how to
right.
take care of life. And I
Right.
think because of the portrayal and the demand that they put on us in order to take care of the brutality that came with us taking care of the earth, we don't want to do it anymore.
Yeah.
We don't
Yeah.
take the same pride in it as we used to have. One of the things that I've said a few years ago, and somebody looked at me like I was crazy, but I said grocery stores are evil. They are very essential nowadays, but grocery stores are evil. We need to actually get back to original farmers markets and really growing. I actually, this year in the pandemic, I actually started me a mini garden because I started realizing how they started saying COVID was in the food. And I'm like, and they shut down the economy. All the
It's a
jobs were
lot.
closed.
It,
And
all of those things roll into one. They
mhm.
do. And
and,
the
and the
scary
thing
part
is,
about it is we don't have a backup plan.
we don't. And
God,
I think one of the things that we have to really dig back into is our core essence as people. We took
Yeah.
care of the earth. Get back to it. Get back to the essentials. Use the systems of the world, especially when it comes down to insurance and things of that sort, to make sure that you are
Yeah.
financially secure, but get back to the basics.
And stay right.
Oh, and
What were you gonna say,
there is
Warren?
another.
why would there's no reason to depend. It doesn't make sense to depend upon government or anything else for your livelihood or for anything. Why would you depend when you have the gift of being able to live off the earth?
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. So they actually they systemically removed us from agriculture. They did it on purpose. They did it on purpose. It wasn't an accident. You can look at the USDA admitted in their policies that they did it on.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the result was obvious. It was obvious what was going to happen. Frankly, I think it's genocide. When I write my papers, in my column, I'm kind of leaning toward that because it is genocide.
It is.
I mean, there's viruses. They use viruses to actually deliver cancer medicine. They know virologists. That's the whole science.
Yeah.
So if they have a science about it, how can they not know about this? How
That's
can you
true.
have a little script? How can you have a script that you could use to tell if you're pregnant in 2 minutes, or you're diabetic? You can look at a script and tell in 2 minutes they can't put for a virus. That's all over.
That's what I said.
It doesn't make
Yeah,
sense.
there
It
are a
does.
lot of
I'm
evils.
not believing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't personally believe it. I know what they did in the food
Right.
systemically. I suspect that they've done that in our daily lives.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm. Well,
So hold on,
in my opinion, there's
Warren.
only one way to defeat the enemy, and that's to get back to God. We have to get
Yeah.
back to
It
the
is.
things of the earth that
That's
God
the
has
bottom.
placed in the earth.
That that's
They
the bottom
That's
line.
the only way.
they're using religion as a weapon.
Yeah.
They use religion as a weapon.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
can't counter that by using religion to say, well, religion will take care of us, because it's not. They use it as a weapon. It doesn't matter. It's only the Bible is critical. how anything. If you don't, if we don't learn how to, they build low income housing and they make it a food desert in 10 years because they build it with provisions for a store, and then the store goes and it's a food desert.
Mm-hmm.
So why wouldn't they not put provisions for you to grow things?
Exactly. I
In
mean, and
China, they already.
there are some great farmers markets in the community, but it's not enough of them. I will say that. But
They
let's
have
push pause.
thousands of them.
Warren, I need you to give your information, and then Chantel, I need you to give your information on how you can be reached.
Well, the best place to reach me is on
Albemarle.
Facebook. Warren Green at Facebook. I got a Facebook all over
Mm-hmm.
the place. That's about the best vehicle. I write a column in albemarletradements.com. If you can get to that, that prevails down in northeast North Carolina and Chesapeake, Virginia. Some places in Virginia Beach. I don't know that you, but online you can get it. Go to my Facebook page. With the days that it's the newsstand, I put it on my Facebook, and it's there for events. You can scroll through it, see my face, see what I got to say, and I say it with love. I don't do it for I'm not. I don't do anything for pay.
Mm-hmm.
I certainly don't write the column for pay. I try to give people my information, the information I know as a bureaucratic insider in the USDA. I know what's happening. I know that you're getting arsenic in your chicken and you don't know. I know that glyphosate that's in all of the grains that you don't know. They call it Roundup, but it's everywhere. Period. And that came from the last administration. So it's not. We don't have the government to protect us. It's
Right.
time to start doing our own thing.
Very good, Warren. Chantel, how do we reach you?
I can be reached on Facebook and Instagram at Financial Circle. My email address is my name, Chantel Smith, at financialguide.com. And I'm also my personal page. Me and you are also connected on my personal pages on Facebook. So you can feel free to friend me on Facebook as well.
And we will also post it again on all our Facebook page and our social media. I am Victorianne Russell Walton, aka Maryland's Big Diva, and I can be reached at 301-683-8690. I know we're getting a lot of emails. You want to be a guest on our show. Trust and believe. I believe I've answered everyone. We are going to have everyone on our show, and I thank everyone for wanting to be a part of the movement, as I call it. My tagline is "We're going to talk about it," and we are. We don't promote any type of hatred. So if that is your platform, I have denied you. So please don't take it personally. We're all about love. We're all about positivity. We're about encouraging and empowering the community and the world. We're not about breaking anyone down. And I don't say the views and the opinions are not, because they are. The guests on my show share, we all share those views and opinions. So right now I'm going to say Black Lives Matter, and we power to the people, because our babies are shown in a different light than other races and other children. It's a shame we have to have a talk before our child walked out the door that says, if you're pulled over or if you're approached, keep your hands where they can see them. Stand still. Don't move. Don't talk back. Put a smile on your face. These are things our granddad had to go through. Can you believe that in 2020 we're going through the same thing that some of our grandfathers and great grandfathers went through? And now, and I can't say it's just us, because we have other races that have joined in the fight and that have
Hmm.
lost their life. The young man yesterday trying to protect those that were out protesting stood up, and he was a young white man and he lost his life. So we have other people that are coming into our fight, but my God, do we have to fight? And we're praying for everyone under all circumstances and wherever you are. Think about it. Today alone, murders, boycotts, fires, hurricanes, tornadoes, COVID 19, cancer, hospice, 2020, and now the Black Plague. We are now facing the Black bubonic plague. It's 2020, people. If you don't see this shifting coming, you don't want to see it. So we have our guest here, Chantel and Warren. We're excited about having them on the show. IITG, it's in the Gene Season Sister Speak. Warren, I'm going to give you 5 minutes, and then Chantel, I'm going to give you another 5 minutes to tell the people what you want to tell them. We've talked about finances, creating your will, getting your life insurance policies together, taking your stimulus check and paying it off for the year. Warren talked about having six figures in your backyard. There's no way for anyone right now to be broke. I know that we got the pyramids going on. That's all well and great, but that's not going to last. So, Warren, I'm going to give you a few minutes. Tell the people what they need to know before we go.
Okay, give yourself some leverage. And our people don't have any leverage in this country. They don't really need us for anything. They don't need us for labor. They don't need us for anything. So we gotta have even some Oriental people. They can do here. They have leverage. They can say, well, blah 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 blah, blah, and they can destroy a neighborhood by just not provide services. So you have to have leverage. The easiest leverage to have is to provide a product that everybody wants, and the product I think is food. Everybody eats all the time.
Yeah.
We have celebrity athletes and athletes. All of these people eat every day. We should be the ones supplying our people with food.
Hi, Patricia.
They have things called community invested agriculture, CIAs, which is excellent thing where you can actually grow in your backyard, patch it, maybe with a co-op kind of situation with your neighbors, and grow different things, and you can sell it to anyone you want. You can make contacts on Oprah Winfrey or something. I'm growing some cucumbers. My neighbor's growing tomatoes and so forth and so on, and we would like to provide you with harvest every month.
Yeah.
So send out a mass mailing and see what you get back. I'm sure that people would be very interested in having fresh food from the farm, or from your garden.
Yeah. Great idea, Warren. Great idea. About time we get back to it. Chantel, what do you want to tell them? I'll give you a few minutes.
I just wanted to piggyback off of Warren and talk about leverage. One of the we have to make sure that we are leveraged, especially when it comes down to our finances. And life insurance is a major leverage. Once you actually purchase it, you know for sure that you have the specific amount that you purchase and that it's going to be given to whoever your beneficiary is. In addition to that, if it's a whole life insurance policy, then it's guaranteed that that it's going to build cash accumulation over time, and that you will have that money available for you, whether you want to add it to retirement, pay for well, let's speak in terms of assets, start a business, um, and things along that line. So I definitely push for leverage. Another one of the pillars of wisdom that God was telling me about was prudence. We have to think about our future. It's not about just living in the day, because a lot of times we are short sighted. A lot of times we can't see from Friday to Monday. A lot of people who, though, that's one of our visions, from Friday to Monday, or from Friday to the next Friday and sliding into the next. We have to open up our eyes. And when we actually set financial, our financial goals, we have to set them on a wider scale basis to be able to think about in terms of the next 3 months. Do you have enough income for the next 3 months? Or what is your plan of sustainability for the next 3 months? What is your plan of sustainability for the next 6 months? One of the things about you ask a question, and then you ask, what are the steps we can take to assist with financial, planning for a better financial for financial stability. And what people don't realize about money is, financial stability is, it's not necessarily the money that you go in for first.
Mm-hmm.
You have to define your values, and what do you
Mm-hmm.
value? Are you able to give up the little conveniences, the little conveniences that really drive in, and when they add up? I know one of my biggest little conveniences is fast food, and we have to tend, because it's quick and it's easy, and got to get away from it.
Yeah,
um
we do. We do. That's a great source of income right there, making your own
exactly.
and
And
eating
then,
healthier.
yeah, definitely. I'm in a balance, because I can do both. I can
Yeah.
binge on both. So,
Hmm.
and what I learned is, even with it comes your values, your goals, and your personal choices. And with your
Yeah.
personal choices, you have to dig into the discipline to be able to stay on that track. So it's not
Yeah.
necessarily the financial stability you have to, and you have to learn finances overall. There are a lot of there's an entire pyramid of finances that people don't know about, that take you from the beginning to basic budgeting all the way up to legacy planning, and there are a number of things in between there. Making sure you have sustainable life insurance, making sure that you understand credit, going into home ownership, going into investing, making sure that your retirement is set. There are phases that you go through when you are creating a structured financial plan. However, if you can't pay your bills on time, and you don't know how much money you need to come in and how much your bills are, even if you get your credit straight, there's a chance that you're going to crash again,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
you don't have the basics under control. So
It
it's a
all
lot.
goes hand. Yeah, it all goes hand in hand. And
Mhm.
that's why I was so happy you two came on. Warren talking about the six figures in your backyard, and then you talking about the wills and creating income through insurance for the family and leaving your family with not just bills, but something, a legacy to build on. And thank you to all the guests who chimed in, and who's watching and who will share this. And you need to share this with your family members. So Warren Green was on today along with Chantel Smith. We thank them for coming on IITG Season Sisters
I
Speak. This
appreciate
is
you for having me.
I can't believe, thank you. I can't believe it. An hour has gone by so fast, but I never leave
Hmm.
my show without giving a tip. And while we're all sitting back waiting to get our toast done, I want to share this. Can you see this? These are actually socks that you put on your feet. And you can actually get these. I'm trying to get the camera right. You can actually get these from Big Lots. And there are hydrating socks that you put on your feet to get your feet back to looking pretty. I saw some feet the other day, some toes the other day, and I was like, my God, you are bold. I don't know why you have your feet out like that. But these are hydrating socks. You put them on for, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes, and it makes your feet really pretty. And again, you can get these from Roses, Big Lots, Target, Walmart, anywhere. Husbands, get them for your wives. Slide it on her feet. All you need is 10, 15 minutes, and her feet will begin to look like she's gone back to the salon. So that's my first tip. My second tip is I'm in love with my new UV light. We wave, we wand everything that comes in, the phones, my husband's keys, our shoes, and this kills the germs that we're allowing to come into the house. And they actually call it a sun catcher, but it kills 99.9% of all viruses and germs on hard surfaces. So this is
Okay.
our new toy in the house. When we come in, I'm showing you all sides. It's the sun catcher, and it kills the germs. And Warren and I have spoke about this because we all know. I don't know about the second pandemic is coming, but we all know the flu is coming. And if the flu is any indication of what we've gone through before, we all need to be prepared. And I may be a little paranoid, but I bet you one thing: if somebody comes coughing at your front door, you'll wish you had one of these.
Hmm.
And last but not least, my child's tip for today is get help. Today, David was a little cranky. If you notice, he hasn't been running around here. So he's with my husband upstairs, crayon, drawing and drawing pictures of me with a fat belly, which makes me somewhat irritated because I've lost some weight now. He still won't give me a flat stomach. But ask for help. He has the greatest godparents, DC and Sylvia Case, and I can call on them at any time. And we do virtual play. So don't forget, if they're not feeling well, don't force them or try to make them do anything because at 4 you can't. Ask for help, and that's what happened today. So big shout out to my husband and David who's watching me upstairs. Hi, Dave. We're almost done. And those are things you do to help your stuff stay anxiety and stress free. Those are things that you can do. Prepare, plan financially, mentally, physically, whatever, spiritually, and all of those things. And we've talked about finances. Next week, we're going to talk about what's going on in the community when it comes to boycotting. Where do you fit in? And we're going to have some political guests on, which I normally don't do, to discuss what our options are. They're shutting down the mailboxes. Can you believe that? The mailboxes are being removed and covered. So, how do you get your ballot in? You can take it there and drop it off. Someone says you can FedEx it. However you need to do it, go pick grandmama up and auntie and pick them all up, give their ballots, take pictures of them taking their ballots there. This is the time for movement, people. Get up and do something. If you do nothing, I don't want to hear you complaining. I don't. Whoever you're going to vote for, get up and make your ballot, make your point, make your vote count. Those are things you need to do. All right. So I again appreciate our guests, Chantel Smith and Warren Green. I'm your girl, Victoria Walton on Season Sisters Speak, aka Maryland's Big Diva. Looking forward to next Thursday. We changed the time to 1 o'clock. Share, promote, guide. If you half of y'all are talking about me anyway, at least have something positive to say and talk about the girl in her talk show. Okay, let's do that. Grow those vegetables, feed the community, and remember, if the left side hurt, use the right and make a difference in somebody's life. Ah, here they come. I knew it was time for them. Come and help me say goodbye, David. So we are excited. Here he is. Mommy, it's time for my show. Yes, David has a show,
Hi,
and David's show
handsome.
is called. Hi, David's show is called Say So. So tell him goodbye with me, Dave. Goodbye. Goodbye,
Bye,
everybody.
man.
Thank everybody for tuning in. Don't forget to share. And again, if you're going to talk about me, at least share my show. Take care, everybody.
All right. Have a good one.
You also. Bye, and thank you.